There are very, very, very few things that can intrigue and can poke and can prod at a human's emotions, a human's instincts more than a V8 engine. A V8 engine. I'm not even a car guy. And my pants get wet for a V8 engine. Not another guy's V8 engine, but my own V8 engine. Basically, what I'm saying is, this is really, really weird. Basically, what I'm saying is human beings are creatures. We feel emotions when we're supposed to feel emotions, but we don't really control that. It's in our DNA, it's in our feelings, it's in our previous experience, So, what I'm saying is that the fact that humans are capable of creating a machine, a man-made creation that is able to invoke so much emotion, the technology, trust me, if you don't know how engines work, if even doesn't matter what kind, 4-cylinder, V6, V8, doesn't matter. If you don't know how engines work, you should go on YouTube and find a video, like a step-by-step animated video on how engines work. It is the most fascinating concept ever. And the more cylinders you add, the cooler it becomes. The 4-cylinder engine is such a marvel of engineering. The V6 outdoes it. The V8 is peak. That is peak engineering. It makes me so proud of what we have been able to overcome. A short 10 million years ago, we had discovered sharpened rocks. We discovered that by bashing two rocks together, you could make a slightly sharper rock. 10 million years later, we are flying. A 19-year-old can go to a dealership and buy a V8 Hellcat and can wrap it around a telephone pole at 225 miles an hour. If that is not progression as a society, I don't know what is. The fact that a 16-year-old still in high school can buy a V8 Corvette and can wrap it around a telephone pole in front of his girlfriend's house on his way to pick her up for prom. And it's just a horrifying scene. And they miss prom because he's wrapped around a telephone pole. The fact that he can do that and that we are not stuck in the trees throwing rocks at tigers trying to kill us is amazing. It makes me so proud of what we've been able to do with the resources that we have. 10 million years ago, we had water, we had rocks, we had sticks, we had leaves. Fast forward to today, we have 16-year-olds wrapping their cars around trees or telephone poles, which is another marvelous invention. But you get my point. The progression of a society is ultimately dependent on the machinery that we are able to produce, okay? When you look back at how revolutionary machines like the cotton ginny were, I know that gets into slaves, that's like a touchy subject, but like the machine itself, regardless of what the machine was used for, it was this rudimentary, very simple piece of shit. Fast forward to today, we have, turbo boosted V8 engines that can be put, you can put a V8 engine inside a Prius if you want. That is progression, folks. That is progression. That is what God intended when he created man. He intended us to make V8 engines. I don't know why. I don't even know how he knew that far ahead in the future, but he's all-knowing. That's why he's so special. He's all-knowing. He knew that would eventually be the peak of humanity. The problem is, this is the problem, folks. Now that V8 engines are invented, we have nowhere to go but down. So have you noticed, and I want you to answer this, I want you to think about this. Have you noticed that ever since the V8 engine came out, ever since the V8 was invented, things have been getting worse? Don't you think that's kind of weird? The V8 is invented, and not even 5 decades later, not even 5 decades later, housing is unaffordable, grocery prices are going up, war, famine, political division, political violence. Is that really a coincidence? I would love to be one of those ignorant people that believes that all of this is just a coincidence, but I can't. I can't. I see the signs. Human progression has reached its peak. People think it's AI. No. AI can't drive a V8 engine, at least not right now. Maybe AI wouldn't be such a prick if it could feel the wind in its hair, but it can't. It doesn't have hair. So we're all screwed. Everything's over. Skynet's going to take over. Buy yourself a V8. Enjoy it while it lasts. If you're 16, drive safe. If you're 17, drive safe. If you're 18, wrap that shit around, brother. Wrap that shit around. Okay? I appreciate you listening to this, and I will see you tomorrow.